Hi there and welcome to this video. My name's Simon from CramTheExam, and as you can see over my shoulder, you can see the Matura Advanced paper, the new Matura Advanced paper from 2018 for the English exam. In this video I want to have a look at the Matura papers, the old one and the new one, to see the similarities between those papers, the types of questions, the levels, and if you can use the Cambridge materials for the CAE and the FCE to get ready for the Matura Advanced. So let's get stuck straight into it. Let's scroll down and see what's going on. So the first questions, or the first couple of questions, are the listening questions. So question number one, you've got 3 questions and it's multiple choice, A, B, C. Then you've got a multiple matching question, which is question number 2, and you've then got a multiple choice question based on a longer text. All these types of questions are covered in the Cambridge preparation materials. Certainly the multiple choice, you'll see this type of question covered in the FCE listening paper. Multiple matching is in the FCE and the CAE as well. And you can see here there are 4 questions. The FCE have got 5 questions, so it's pretty much the same thing as the FCE. And then you've got the longer listening with multiple choice, and this is something that you'll find in the CAE listening paper. I've had a look at the tape scripts, and the level for the listening is much closer to the CAE than it is for the FCE. So doing the CAE questions will help you get ready for the Matura Advanced. It's at the right level. And given that the question formats are more or less the same, you should be able to use the Cambridge materials to get you ready for these 3 questions. The next couple of questions are the reading questions. Question number 4 is multiple matching, which you'll see in the FCE and the CAE. It's the last reading question for the FCE and the CAE. I think it's for both of them that's the last question. Let me just check that. And indeed it is. I've just checked that out in the FCE and the CAE handbook. So it's multiple matching is the last use of English question, although obviously for the FCE and the CAE you've got 10 questions, not just 4. The next question is a question that you'll find on the FCE and the CAE. This format is much closer to the FCE, where you just have to put in the sentence rather than the paragraph, which is the CAE, but the idea is exactly the same. So you're looking at the before the gap and after the gap to look for vocabulary and contextual links to help you choose the correct answer. Although the format is much closer to the FCE, the level of language required is closer to the CAE, so just something to watch out for. And then you've got one more reading question. In fact, 2 more reading texts and the multiple choice questions divided over those. So there's plenty of reading to be done there, but the question format is the same that you'll find in the FCE and the CAE. So definitely you can use the Cambridge materials to help you prepare for the Matura Advanced, although using the CAE materials will put you in a better position. And then let's scroll on down. Then we've got our use of English type questions. Question number 7 is a multiple choice close, although unlike the Cambridge exams, this is not just one word. You've obviously got questions with one word, and you've got different structures that you can choose for which focus on grammar. So the idea of the question is the same, although the question types are a little bit different. Here we've got a open-close question, which is question 2 of the use of English paper, both for the FCE and the CAE. So this is exactly the same, although obviously there's only 4 questions here. And then you've got a keyword transformation exercise, and that covers the use of English type questions for the Matura Advanced in the modern and the new paper. basically, you can use the Cambridge materials to help you prepare. Obviously, there's that grammar element here in this question, which you might need to do extra preparation for, because the Cambridge exam looks at grammar, but in terms of one-word answers in the open close, and you'll see the grammar structures that you'll need in the keyword transformations. So it doesn't. The Cambridge materials won't cover everything that you need to get ready for this exam, although obviously a good knowledge of grammar will help you get through that. And then the open close is tricky, a test of grammar and structure, and keyword transformation. Now, keyword transformation here, you've only can use 4 words, a maximum of 4 words. For the CAE, you've got to use between 3 to 6 words. For the FCE, you've got to use between 2 and 5. So the rules for the keyword transformation are a bit different, but the idea is very much the same. And then you've got a writing question to finish. The writing question has got an essay question. I strongly recommend that you do the essay question. The reasons is that the structure is extremely well known, and you can go into the essay question with the plan already in your head about what you have, or the way that you have to answer. So the plan's already in the head, the vocabulary, the linking devices, the transitions, how one thing moves on to the other thing. This should already be in your head, and then when you go and do the exam, it's a question of just filling in the gaps. I'm sure you know the video Rock Your English. The dude there does a number of videos about preparing for the writing exam for the Matura Advanced. He says the same things. Do the essay question because of the structure and because of the preparation that you can do beforehand. And of course, there is an essay question, which is a mandatory question in the FCE and the CAE writing papers as well. So you can use the same ideas, the same structures in order for all of these exams. If we have a look at the old paper, question number 1, here we've got our word formation question. Word formation question. You don't have this on the new paper, you've got it on the old paper, but it is covered in the Cambridge exam. Use of English question 3 is a word formation question. You've got your keyword transformation, same rules before, maximum of 4 words. And then you've got your writing, which has got the essay element in there as well. And as I said, go for the essay. And then paper number 2. Here you've got the listening questions. Now, for the Cambridge exams, we don't have true-false questions in our listening papers. So you can't use Cambridge to help you get ready for this specific question, although, of course, the more training you do with listening exercises, the better you'll get at extracting information that you'll need. So the sentence completion exercise for the Cambridge paper, although it's a different format to that, will help you in terms of identifying key pieces of information, and of course the multiple choice questions as well will help you with that. Multiple matching, 5 questions instead of 4, which is the same as the FCE, but the content is much closer to CAE. And then you've got your multiple choice long listening. Then on to the reading questions. You've got one multiple choice question, just as you have in the Cambridge papers. You've got your gap fills, just as you have in the Cambridge paper, just like the FCE format. And then the last question, I think, is a use of English type question, where you've got a multiple choice close. You've got to choose the correct answer, whether it's one word in some cases or a grammar structure in other cases. So although this is a little bit different to the multiple choice close that we have for the Cambridge, the idea is very much the same. And of course, if you've got a good knowledge of grammar, then this should be a walk in the park, and that indeed is the last question. So I've probably, I'll stop scrolling through the paper. So I've probably told you things that you already know, and that is that you can use the Cambridge materials in order to get you ready for the Matura Advanced exam. Just be careful that you remember the differences in the rules between the Cambridge papers and the Matura Advanced. The worst thing you can do, particularly for the keyword keyword transformation exercise, is to go over the word limit or something like that. and then you're going to cost yourself points. So you don't have to look further than the Cambridge materials in order to get yourself ready. Lots of people have asked me, why don't I cover the Matura Advanced materials on my website? Well, the answer to that is I was going to, until I found out how many materials and course books there are and how much I hate every single one of those course books. If you compare the course books for example, Cambridge CAE to Matura Advanced, the first thing you'll notice is the size. The Matura Advanced generally is a lot thicker. Secondly, is the amount of material inside those books. Matura Advanced has got about 3 or 4 times the material that you find in the Cambridge Advanced books. How you're meant to do all of that in 1 year or 2 years, Lord only knows. And it's grammar, and it appears to me that there's not much in the way of exam practice and exam preparation. So for me, for the books that I looked at, the focus of those books are wrong, because at that point, when you do Matura Advanced, given that it's much closer to the CAE, you should know all the grammar already. You shouldn't have to review all of the grammar. This should be second nature to you by the time you get to that level. So the thing that you need to do is to apply that knowledge of grammar through practicing exam questions. And that's why the Cambridge course books, or the course books prepared for the Cambridge exam, are a lot better, because there's that much more exam practice in those course books. Not to mention the amount of online exam practice there are for the Cambridge exams. So the short point is, yes, you can use Cambridge materials in order to get ready for the Matura exams, give or take 1 or 2 points. So I really encourage you to take full use of the Cambridge materials that I look at in my 12-week course. And if you've got a Cambridge coursebook, then that will help you as well. If you've got any comments about this video, if you think I've missed anything or I should add anything to this video, because I don't have that much experience teaching the Matura Advanced. I've looked through the papers and I've compared the papers, but it's not something I've spent a great deal of time on. So if I've missed something, or if I've got something wrong, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you on that. And be sure to check out my YouTube channel and all of the other videos that I've done in order to get you ready for your Cambridge exam. I'll see you again soon.